Alright, let's go fight the Cacodemon. Hello. Baller. The baller. Baller. Paralysis. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So some of you may be wondering, where have I been for like the past 3-ish months before I started streaming recently? And I don't really have a reason for why I left other than I was playing RLCraft and my computer didn't have enough RAM to really do a lot of things with it when I was playing RLCraft, and I was hosting the server, so 16 gigabytes, 10 of which were going to the server, the rest I could use maybe sometimes. And that's wasn't necessarily very good for me. I probably should have just hunkered down and finished the game when I could, but I dragged it out very long, and now this is where we are. Which really sucks for the channel's health. I know that. I still did it anyway. I thought it would fun. I thought it was funny law. I thought it would be a little bit of a debated moment or something like that. Um, but either way, I ended up playing RLCraft very, very seriously, I think, as I was playing it with the intent of, or at least I was playing it in like the last 3 hours of gameplay I had, of if I die, I'm done with the game. Because I spent all my resources like setting up my gear and getting everything to that point. And I was like, if I die, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm not doing another 2 months of grinding all this stuff back up just so that I can die because I'm ill prepared again. Right. So I was like, you know what? That's going to be the challenge of these two streams, my two return streams. It's going to be something like, hey guys, if I die, I end everything. And it's like, what? and so I ended up doing that. And and this is how it went, you know? So I started the first stream by fighting a large cacodemon. The large cacodemon I had to summon in order to fight like the first boss, which is Rahvart, who you fight in the Nether. So I ended up fighting the large cacodemon, and I was like, man, this is cool. I wonder what resources I need to summon Rahvart. And then I realized I needed a soul key. And to make a soul key, you needed to have a Wither Star. And I was sitting there like, okay, I don't have that. So I went out farming, and I farmed for a while. I was looking for wither skulls wherever I could find them. I started off in a like wizard tower. It's like a 4 tower thing where someone's pillagers, wither skeletons, and all the mobs in between. I was really only there for the wither skeletons, but then I ended up fully clearing it afterward, and I got nothing, or next to nothing. I got a couple skulls, which was fine. And I was like, well, that was kind of disappointing. So I went back out all the way out to a mega battle tower where out there I ended up grinding for more wither skeleton skulls because at the top of the floors they have like a couple spawners and they spawn wither skeletons, but they don't drop very often, if ever. And I was really suffering. That was like the worst thing ever, dude. I was fucking miserable. And then I was like, well, fine. I guess I'll just go to a nether fortress where they normally spawn. Nothing was spawning. The nether fortresses are terrible. Nothing spawns there. And so I was just sitting there with thumb in my ass doing nothing. And then I realized mid Nether Fortress that there's actually a way for me to get kind of lucky, I would say, because it was still like kind of luck based, but also this enemy was like much more common than a wither skeleton and also had like a 50% drop of a wither skeleton skull. So I ended up farming them almost instantly because I went to a Doom-like dungeon in the Nether, which was really dangerous. And I also got this clip. This clip was pretty funny, I think. Now, if you'll notice, I'm getting caught up in the sauce, and yet I'm not taking damage. That is due to me being baller like that. And so we finally collected almost all the wither skeleton skulls that we needed, most of them, and we had like a very few left. So I was like, whatever. I think this will do for now. We can just head on out and mind our own business. And that was where that stream ended. I ended the first stream with me just running around farming wither skeleton skulls. So actually pretty unproductive, I would say, until the second half of the stream where we ended up getting almost all the wither skeleton skulls really quickly. So that was almost embarrassing to an extent. And with all that experience gained, I was like, well, I guess tomorrow we actually do the actual fights because I have to go do homework. And so when I got back onto the next stream, my very first thing I did was I went straight to the Nether and I started setting up the final arena. or the final summoning pillars. It's really easy. It's just like 5 by 5 space. You stack up like 3 blocks of obsidian, 1 diamond on each pillar on the outskirts, and then in the very middle you put 2 summoner, and then 2 more on top of it, and then boom, you have a soul key. You click that, boom, 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 you're fighting. But right before that, my friend showed up on the server and started fucking up himself. I guess he burned in lava, and it said he burned in lava fighting himself. I was kind of confused. Uh, During all that, my friend came on the server and gave me like 8 more wither skeleton or nether star, or no, they were wither skeleton skulls because I had to fight the wither with his, and that was cool because we grinded the withers, like 3 of them. We killed like 3 withers back to back to back in 2 minutes. So we did that really quickly, and then we went back out to the nether, and we set all that stuff up. We used our soul key and we started the fight with Rahavart. Rahavart wasn't necessarily a boss that I was like too scared of, but it was due to prior experience. Like the last time I went out to the Rahavart arena with my friend Zach, we were very well prepared, I would say. In fact, so incredibly well prepared that I'm surprised we didn't at least beat Rahavart, but we could have beaten Asmodeus, like the final boss of the game, and we didn't. And I was like, how did we fail that? How did we mess that up? I think I was getting hit by too many abilities in that one, and my weapon was too strong, so I was doing minimum damage. And anyway, during the Rahavart fight, I was like getting grabbed by Belfries and whatnot, and I was like, ah, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. And I just kept swearing like a sailor. And I cleared all the mobs, and I killed Rahavart really quickly and really easily. Actually, I didn't take much damage at all. And after all of that, I was incredibly happy. In fact, overjoyed, I would say, as I failed it last time miserably, and then I gave up, and I never thought I'd be able to go back to Arlcraft and actually beat any of the bosses again. Fortunately for me, I was wrong, because we came back and we did it, and that was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. And right after that, I went to the end and I tried setting up the next pillars, right? The next summoning altar, which I set up improperly because you can't summon it in the same area that you fight the Ender Dragon. I thought you could. You cannot. And so I went back to base, and then I came back to the end, and then I went out and changed dimensions to the lost. I can't really remember what it's called, but it's the part where you can find shulkers and whatnot. So it's like the second part of the end. And out there, I set up the podium wrong this time because I set it up as a 4x4. So then I had to change that. And then after all of that, I finally managed to set it up correctly and summoned our next competitor, Asmodeus. Of course, Asmodeus is going to be harder than Rahavart as he's the second boss in the progression. However, I completely fucked up that fight. I didn't die though. No. I completely fucked up that fight. I'm gonna admit it right now. I played it so poorly. I I had assumed because Rahavart was the enemy that you could use your nunchuck and you could use your continuous attack and you go spinning it around, spinning it around, spinning it around, and just auto attack him. Continuous attack is what it's called, the nunchuck ability. Little did I know that Asmodeus actually is immune to continuous attack, so you have to use a basic left click. So I would run up to him holding down continuous attack, and I'd get the very first hit off, and then no other hit afterward would land. It took me about 5 minutes before I figured out that was the reason why nothing was working. And even after all of that, I was incredibly pissed. I was furious. And also, he took my shield down to like half health, and he heavily bruised my entire my entire body during that fight. Like I'm talking I almost got to half health during that fight, during one phase of it. It was a hard one. It was, it was a lot harder than Rahavart was for that one. And I couldn't tell you why, apart from me literally not knowing what I was supposed to do for half the fight. And then when I finally did figure it out, I was just a complete idiot, I would say. Whatever. We dealt with it. We finished it, I guess. We're all done. Yeah, we finished Asmodeus. After all of that, settling all my stuff, yelling at Trites during the whole fight, I fight a Lunar Gru, which is a really weird enemy that you also have to summon using a different type of altar, you only fight this guy just so you can get some of the blocks needed to make the summoning altar for the next level boss. I I don't understand why they made it this way. I don't know why. It's really annoying though. Another thing about that fight that I was like, what's the point? Is it was a lot easier than the Cacodemon that I fought at the very beginning. I fought a Cacodemon right off the bat that I mentioned like 10 minutes ago. That thing was so much easier. So much easier. I'm not even kidding. It was, or the Lunar Gru was so much easier. Because the Cacodemon almost like decapitated me. He's just launching charges at me, and I had to put my shield up because I was dying so quick. The Lunar Gru, I just went in there and started whipping him with my nunchucks, slayed him. Easy. Easy peasy. It was crazy. I don't know what's the deal. Now, after all that, and after fighting Lunar Gru and Cacodemon and Asmodeus and Rahavart, I get ready for the final fight with Amalgalich. And it's a cool name. It's a cool name. It's a really cool name for a really disgustingly hideous monster. Like, really gross thing, I swear. And so I spent the entire time hyping Amalgalich up as like some turbo difficult, uber impossible hard boss, right? Like, nobody can beat this guy unless you're super statted up and ready to fight and brawl and you have wine and you can fly and all that garbage. And then I went in there with my nunchaku, no fight, no flying, and just pure stupidity. And I didn't take damage. Or at least I think I took more damage from a mob that I fought seconds before hitting Amalgalich than I did from Amalgalich. It was a really easy fight. It was so anticlimactic. And I don't know why I don't know why it was so easy. I think if the hitbox on the large spheres had been a bit more unforgiving, it could have been harder. But even then, it would have had to do pretty substantial damage in order to really matter. But whatever. I beat the boss. I finished the game, right? I did everything I was supposed to do after setting up that altar and fighting all three bosses and doing it. No deaths. Did it my way, did it the highway, and I'm stuck in the lost dimension. Oh shit. So now we had to make a plan. And the plan was, how am I going to get out of here? Because I've heard people talk like, oh, you can get the materials you need to escape by like making a specialty bed, and then you can go through that, and then boom, you're back in the overworld. You know, same way you entered, you can exit. Well, I couldn't find any resources first of all, and also I was ended up being feared for about 10 minutes. What you know, if you don't know, fear is a mechanic that you can't. It has different stages. There's fear one, two, and three. I don't know what fear one does. I don't think it does anything important. Fear two makes it so you can't uh, eat items or enter inventories, but you can still open doors and whatnot. Fear three makes it so you can't do anything with right click, pretty much. It's really miserable. So I ended up huddling up in a corner, waiting for the fear effect to fully wear off before I booked it back over to the arena. And I was sitting there thinking about how the hell I'm going to escape from this dimension. Because clearly, getting all the materials I need for the bed isn't going to work. I tried that. I almost died. I took a little over half my health bar, which was like 4.5 bars, 3.5 bars. It was a lot. I had a lot of HP. It was a lot of HP. No way I should have been at risk there. And I was like, well, whatever. Let's go back to the arena and start brainstorming because maybe there's a way we can do this without having to fight anything. Maybe I can do it by being like more stealthy or something. Well, actually, the solution was me not being such an idiot and glancing over the items in my inventory that all the bosses had dropped at one point in the encounters. You don't know what that item was? It was it was one of the crucial components for making a waystone. And if you don't know, the waystone is how I got there, and also the reason why I couldn't get back. Because when I took a waystone over to the Lost Dimension and I set up the arena, when I set up the arena, I thought the waystone would just sit there. I didn't think it would break. I should have known it would have, because that's like the entire condition of the arena is that when it sets up, it doesn't break, or it breaks everything in that vicinity. Didn't think about it. So then I was like, well, what can I do? Well, it takes a Wither Star to make a Waystone. And every single boss that I had fought up to that point dropped what I needed, which was Wither Star. They actually dropped multiple. They dropped like 2 to 3 if I remember correctly. And I, like a complete buffoon, went into my red shulker, dumped all my items into it, and didn't think about it. So I looked for items that I didn't need to, because I already had obsidian. I had to get obsidian in order to make the pillars, so that was no reason for me to worry. I just didn't think about waystones for some reason. Even though I took one to get there, I was like, oh, certainly I can't take one back, even though I proved that wrong as I went back from that dimension a while ago with using the waystone that I took there. So I ended up digging through the arena and grabbing like 3 blocks of or no, not cobblestone. It was a brick. It was like a stone brick. Really easy, incredibly easy. And then I dug trees and then I mined trees, chopped trees. I chopped trees on the opposite side of the arena after digging out the wall there, and I left without a cinch. There was no problem. I don't know why I didn't just think about it earlier. I just threw my nether stars away and was like, oh, solution. My solution? Find. Clearly, I could have done that easier. And whatever, I win. I'm the champion. I did something that I thought, and I'm saying I a lot, but I thought it to be completely impossible, especially for me, because often I feel inadequate when I'm playing a game, almost like I can't compete with myself or the other people I'm playing with, and maybe I should just not try so hard because I know I'm not going to be able to compete with them. But I managed to be the last person sticking around on my server, and I beat the game. And it was a 3-month-long process where people slowly stopped playing throughout it, and I can't even blame any of them because I was miserable too. All of us were. We were all having an awful time playing this server for so long. And I think a lot of them are glad that it's done. And I'm glad that it's done too. Because as much as I enjoyed finishing the game, it was not good for my mental at all. It made it so hard for me to want to even record things and make videos and really do anything involving anybody for the longest time. But now that we're done, I started up a new Minecraft server and it's playing all the mods 8. I'm going to make a video on that probably because fuck it. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it actually. And I think it's worth making videos on pretty much anything that I come across because I'm getting better at editing, I think. At least I'm getting less sloppy. If you haven't noticed, this final part is like an outro, but it's going to be kind of long because I'm going to be saying a lot of like gratitudes and pre-thoughts or post-thoughts, I should say, and what I think I should have done better. And so I also say though, like I hated the experience, but I also really liked it for a reason completely separate, and it relates a little bit more to my next video, open world games video, which will be, it's in production. Okay, trust me. I know it's taking a while. I just need a couple more interviews and then I can really start putting shit together, banging things in sticks in the mud, whatnot. And I just want to say though, like I really did enjoy RLCraft, not because like, oh, it's Minecraft and I like Minecraft. No, it's because it had a linear experience, which is something I'm not really getting from all the mods 8, but I'm enjoying that one for its own thing, because that one is Minecraft. That's 1.19.2. So it's up to date and it's actually fun. So, being fun is a major bonus in my book. But yeah, it's I don't know. I liked RLCraft though because it had that reason to keep going. And all the mods felt like, not all the mods 8. I'm talking like all the mods in RLCraft felt like they were well conjoined. They were put together. And all the mods 8, like it feels like you're working with a lot of different mod packs because that's what you're doing. You're working with a lot of different mod packs. So oftentimes we end up in conversation of, all right, I just finished doing this mod. What should I do next? You guys got any like recommendations? And then we'll be like, maybe you could go back and pick up the one that I left because I didn't want to do it, or maybe you could go do this one because it's pretty cool, I think. But I'm enjoying it, and that's what matters, I think. I already talked about how open world games is in production. If you can't tell, I'm reading like a notes. Literally open up a notepad and I've been reading off of it for a little bit now. But it's not like the entire script. It's just like general ideas of what I need to do. I even named it donotes.txt. So pretty simple. Talk about the next video and how it is in production. And I already did that. I can cross that off the checklist and say I'm working on it and I plan on working on other videos. And for now, I'm mostly just building up like I need copyright free music. That's too close to the camera. I need copyright free music. I need some decent looking idea of like how to edit. So I've been doing my research, and I need to also do a lot of schoolwork because I haven't been able to since I cross between two schools now for classes. So I lose like an hour of class time, closer to like 40 minutes of class time for getting things done when I normally would have. That's not going to stop either. That's been going on the whole year. I don't know. That's what you get when you take on co-op classes. And the next point would be talk about you recently started a new server and I've been streaming on it regularly, and that would be All the Mods 8. I talked about that as well. I've been enjoying it. Come check it out. I would be really glad to see you around. I'm playing with all my friends, and they're pretty consistently playing too. Sometimes some of them can't, and that's whatever. You can't get everybody on at the same time. It's pretty hard to do. And then finally, I wanna say a final note about how grateful I am for everybody that played RLCraft with me. Uh, it means a lot more to me than some people might imagine, and especially if they're willing to play a game that everybody knows is miserable and it's unfun and it demoralizes you just because they're there playing it with you. It really does feel great for me to know that I have people that I can spend time with like that. Even if you didn't stick around long, I know you know who you are, who I'm talking to. Even if you didn't stick around for very long, I was just glad to see you there when you were. And sometimes I came off as a little hostile, and I understand that, and I really want to apologize for that. I don't think it's a very appropriate behavior for me to take when dealing with other people's circumstances, but I still really enjoyed playing with all of you, even if I didn't seem like it at times, or much, if ever. And I'm just glad that you guys were willing to play another mod server so recently after RLCraft. I think the main reason why you guys were so willing to play a modded server though was because uh nobody was really playing RLCraft in like the last month of it being up. One of my friends was on it like every like 3 to 4 days, and they were like there for maybe an hour and then they get off, and it was like, okay, that's cool. I should probably try and end the server as quickly as I can. That's when I really knew I needed to end the server. So I was like, you know what? Let's try and stream it because I got another 16 gigs in my computer now. I got 32 gigabytes. 32, baby. We could stream everything. We could do anything we want. We could video edit while streaming. We could stream, video edit, and have all the mods 8 and a server open at the same time, and I'll still have some gigs left. Whoa. No, it's really good though. I'm really happy that we can finally do all this stuff because I've wanted to get more involved with streaming, and it's always been like 16 gigabytes just isn't enough if I want to host a Minecraft server and play with it on with people at the same time. But now I don't have a reason not to, and it's like it's really liberating. Where am I going with this? I'm just glad to have everybody there, and also I kind of want to do just a normal Minecraft server, but I know at the moment we're playing all the mods 8, and when we're done with this, I might end up just taking a flat month off of Minecraft unless somebody convinces me to do a base Minecraft server. I might take a year off of it if nobody talks to me about it, because I like Minecraft, don't get me wrong, but I've played it for like 6 months straight with a couple breaks in between for games like Monster Hunter World and League of Legends. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of League again lately. That's not good for my mental. I know it isn't. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing that, man. It's not good for me. But yeah, like I said, I'm just glad that all my friends are willing to hang out with me on Minecraft servers, even if it's unproductive or lazy or just downright not fun. RLCraft. Um, and I look forward to playing more games with them in the future. And I also look forward to any new viewers that want to watch all the Mods 8 gameplay. I'm playing around with Create and Feed the Beast. I don't understand that one, and I'm having fun. So feel free to visit us whenever you feel like it. Ciao.